Across from Quaker's Landing, down Ochterlony Street, the Quaker House lies and has remained since 1786. In 1971, a surge of urban renewal resulted in the destruction of many historic homes in Dartmouth's downtown core. The Museum Society preserved Quaker House and converted it to an interpreted historic house open to the public every summer. Originally the home of William Ray, the house is considered the oldest standing structure in Dartmouth. It's a municipally and provincially registered historic site and is representative of its construction period and reflective of the Nantucket Island domestic architecture from which it's derived. During the American Revolutionary War, the British government placed high tariffs on goods from the United States. The high rates were a particular problem for Quaker whalers, as Britain was their largest whale oil market. Since Nova Scotia was a British colony, trade with Great Britain would not have the same high tariffs as the United States, so the first wave of Quaker whalers from Nantucket settled in Dartmouth in 1785. The Dartmouth whaling fleet rapidly expanded and became the rival of every whaling center in the world. The practice was seen as both profitable and immoral for innovation, which came with its share of perils. Since the house was acquired by the Heritage Museum, they have preserved artifacts and trinkets made of different whale product like bone and baleen. During the Industrial Revolution, whaling is comparative to the modern-day petroleum industry, lubricating the machines that kept the industries moving and fueling many lanterns in the Western world. The summer kitchen wasn't always here. The Ray family used this area as a kitchen during the warmer months. The Jackson family later expanded it to become the traditional kitchen of the household. In the 18th century, like many settlers, Quakers lived off bread, root vegetables, soups, and stews. The Ray family would spend hours milking their cows and churning butter. The summer kitchen is a place that has been preserved to give you an up-close and personal look into what cooking and kitchen architecture in the 1700s looked like. When William Ray built this house in 1786, he and his family only lived here for 5 years before moving to England. The house had many owners over the next 50 years until its purchase by John Tracy and his wife Mary Jane Jackson in 1846. The house stayed in the Jackson family over the next 120 years. The Mi'kmaq people who had been living here for centuries traveled the waterways and fished in Jabukduk, now known as the Halifax Harbor. They had a friendly relationship with the Quakers. On the second floor of the house, there's one of few bedrooms, but the children's room tells the story of the Ray family's children and how ordinary life looked like for young people before modernization. They were expected to watch over each other, do homework, read, and play. It was also common practice that siblings shared beds to save on space and heat. The Dartmouth Room explores transportation and first responders. From the Shubenacadie Canal to the ferry service and shipbuilding, transportation was an early factor in Dartmouth's success as a community. Dartmouth was incorporated as a town in 1873. The Dartmouth Engine Company of 1822 was one of the earliest fire departments in North America, second only to the one in Halifax. The Union Protection Group was a volunteer group founded in 1876. Separate from the fire department, they helped protect families and properties in times of disaster by assisting firefighters in protecting the personal effects and homes of the victims. And the Shubenacadie Canal was an essential part for providing water to the town of Dartmouth for years to come. More information on the Quaker House can be found at www.dartmouthheritagemuseum.ns.ca. Quaker House is open seasonally from June to August, Wednesday through Sunday from 10 to 5. We invite you to visit the Quaker House this summer to learn more about Dartmouth's history.